podcast time. Come on, grab your friends. We'll talk about fairy distant lands. We met the man and names the woman. The fun will never end. It's podcast time. Hi, welcome to Oh My Glob, the Adventure Time podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here to talk about episodes of Adventure Time, starting from the beginning and heading out to the end. And we're excited to be here together. How you doing, Matt?
I am swell. How are you?
I'm doing fine, just fine.
Awesome. This is actually our second time recording this episode. We tried earlier, but it's like she just got out of work and we had a cat jumping all over the microphone and it was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. A nightmare indeed.
So we just rewatched the episode. This is my third time watching it in the last week. I feel like I've got it memorized.
Yeah. Today we're going to review Season 1, Episode 2, Trouble in Lumpy Space.
Yeah.
Yep. This episode was directed by Larry, I don't know how to say his last name, Leach-Latira, Patrick McHale. It was written and the storyboard was by Elizabeth Ito and Adam Muto. And I apologize if I get the names wrong. I'm sure people will correct me. That's great.
For shame.
For shame. The original air date was April 5th, 2010. And allegedly there were 2.5 million U.S. viewers.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. More people than I thought.
Yeah. So I've been seeing tons of articles and videos popping up about the series finale coming in September. And we recorded this in late August, by the way. And I'm avoiding it like the plague because we're probably a full season behind at this point due to the fact that we're watching Adventure Time on Hulu. And we don't want to pay for episodes, so. But by the time we've covered all the episodes leading up to the last season, I'm sure it'll be streaming.
I think so too. And I kind of like this because it's cool starting from the beginning, even now, to see how the show has evolved and where it's going to take us. And we've seen lots of episodes here and there, and it's just really cool. And I'm excited because I'm going to be watching a lot of episodes that maybe I've seen before, but not in the sequence, and really seeing where the show goes from here.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun.
Really fun. I'm so excited. We already have guests lined up for some episodes of their favorites, so we're excited and looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Guillermo del Toro is a fan of the show, so maybe we can get him on.
Maybe. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Probably not, though.
Yeah. Okay, so we should get back to the episode.
All right. So, Season 1, Episode 2, Trouble in Lumpy Space.
So this episode opens at a tea party hosted by none other than Princess Buttercup. Just kidding. Princess Bubblegum.
Yeah, that just went right over my head for a second. I'm ashamed.
And so they're bouncing on marshmallows, and
a part of the ceremony is you have to bounce on giant marshmallows and balance your teacup.
Yeah, and like the tea comes out and swishes back into the cup, and it's like allegedly takes years to master.
And Finn is terrible at it.
Although he thinks he's better. But we meet new characters that we hadn't met before. We meet the Hot Dog Princess and
Lumpy Space Princess, LSP.
For short.
One of my favorite characters. So her voice is done by Pendleton Ward, the series creator. And he says that she's the character that he relates to most in the series.
She is also one of my least favorite characters because she's a brat.
So anyway, they're bouncing on the marshmallow. Finn says, "Princess, this tea party sucks in a big way." And they call LSP out on the fact that she's floating and not bouncing.
Because she's like, whatever, this is so easy, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, you're floating, so...
She instantly falls and accidentally bites Jake's leg.
Yeah, her teeth turn into fangs, and all of a sudden... and then his leg starts to lumpify.
So if you get bitten by a lumpy space person, it works like werewolf rules. But instead of a wolf, you turn into a basically spoiled teenage girl.
Yeah, like a lumpy space being.
Yeah. Jake brushes it off and he's like, "I'm fine." And then his arm goes limp and he's like, "Finn, I think I'm freaking out."
Yeah, it's really good. So they get to a portal and Jake in the meantime Finn says, "Yo, LSP, what do we got to do about this?" And she's like, "Oh, well, there's an antidote, but I have to take you to Lumpy Space." And he's like, "Well, okay, let's go." She's like, "Oh, and by the way, it has to happen before midnight or he'll be lumpified
before
forever."
sunset.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Before sunset or he'll be lumpy forever, which is not really a hard and fast rule, as we learned. So that's really interesting, and we'll get to that.
So they go to the portal, which is a frog and a mushroom because it's This is a weird show.
And the password's like, whatever, it's 2009, which is interesting because it aired in 2010.
Yeah, they probably wrote it or recorded it in 2009.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, get with the program, content creators. Wait a sentence.
Good job, Matt. Words, who knew? So anyway, so they do that. They get in there. The frog questions her ability to bring non-lumpy people in, but she's like, whatever, I'm bringing them. So this is really interesting. We see her house. What she says is kind of lame, but less lame than your house. So whatever. That gives you a flavor of her attitude.
So they need to get her parents' cars, their floating cars, so that they can drive it to where the antidote is, because you can't walk there.
Yeah, because the landscape, Lumpy Space. Lumpy Space, yeah, thank you. Lumpy Space is...
It's kind of like clouds.
Like clouds and like this weird... I don't know. But there's like... you can't... There's no roads across connecting these island cloud things. I
noticed this time through that all of Lumpy Space is blue, pink, or purple.
The makeout point was a rainbow.
And it's also shaped like a tongue.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool.
For making out.
Smooth like a tongue.
Smooth like a tongue. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so LSP's parents won't let her take the car because she says, lump off, Mom.
Yeah, okay, so the other thing about LSP is that she uses lump and like everybody in space, lump. I can't get that right. Lumpy Space. Mm-hmm. And Lumpy Space uses lump as like an adjective or a verb, or it's really fascinating.
They replace curse words with lump.
Yeah, so we meet LSP's father, who I guess is the king, because if she's the princess, he's the king. And he has a star in the middle of his forehead, and he's like, whatever, going off, and she's talking to him, and then he turns around and there's her mother attached to his body.
It's disgusting.
Like this weird conjoined twin situation.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
Her mom has this just odd voice. It's like scratchy and high-pitched. You know what? I think she has the same voice as Melissa.
Yeah, I can totally hear that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, anyway, sorry. Tangent. So mom starts crying, and then she's not allowed to use the car. End of story.
It makes me think, like, it really creeps me out, like, their whole conjoined situation. So, do Lumpy Space people fuse into one body when they're married?
Yeah, I don't know. Does it ever address that later in the show?
No.
Of course not.
Finn makes LSP call her friend Melissa with a car so they can get to Makeout Point, which is where the antidote is. But she doesn't want to because Melissa is dating her ex-boyfriend, Brad. So she has like no sense of urgency about the fact that sundown happens and then Jake will end up being a lumpy space person forever. She's like, oh, glob, I forgot. And that's the first time that we heard oh, glob. Yeah. As like their curse word, I guess. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what do you know? Our podcast is named after a line from Lumpy Space Princess. I guess we're going to have to change the name of the podcast. Finn makes LSP call her friend Melissa with the car so they can go to Makeout Point. And she doesn't want to because of the bread. But she gets psyched again when Melissa mentions it's the night of the weekly prom-coming dance. Yeah. I wonder if there's a football game that preceded the prom-coming dance. Probably not. Because usually in high school, you have the football game for homecoming. Mm-hmm. But for prom, that's usually a separate event. So I'm really curious about this. There was dancing involved, though. It's something to think about. But I wonder if there wasn't really elaborate, like, asking out. Did you ever go to prom or homecoming? Nope. No, you never went to any of them? No, I hung out with the cool smoker kids behind the bleachers. Oh my gosh, you never took a girl to prom? I was too cool for school. Oh my goodness. I went to 2 proms, and I went to homecoming every year except my 9th grade year, because we had junior high, so it's 7th, 8th, and 9th in junior high. And then high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I went to 3 of those. And then I was dating a senior my junior year, and I went to his prom. And then I went to my prom. And I didn't go to prom with my boyfriend at the time because I was stupid. And I was like thinking, oh, he should ask me out. But he wasn't even going to my school. I was a dumb girl. I think the only dance I ever went to was in like 8th grade. And I was so terrified of dancing that a group of girls actually pulled me into the dance floor to dance with this one girl, and I like ran out the gymnasium. That is so funny. Oh God, I think it was my sister that instigated the whole thing. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. Nope. Not even a little. Anyway. I've grown out of my shell. You have grown out of your shell. I'm so proud of you. I'm no longer a turtle man.
You're a semi-turtle man.
I'm just a man. That should be my podcast voice.
Yeah.
All right. We're straying so far off topic.
I know. Okay, so calls Melissa. She gets like super psyched, and she does the classic.
Oh yeah, so she gets so excited about prom coming that she's speaking in tongues.
No,
she can't form words. She's just like, So Finn takes the phone from her hand and tells Melissa to come pick them up in LSP's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Jake's eye pops out all lumpy.
Which is really funny because he's like, how are you doing? He's like, actually, I'm beating it back with sheer willpower. And all of a sudden it goes, blop, and his eye pops out. And he like pushes it back in.
Oh my.
That was really funny. So Melissa shows up with her car, picks them up, has a notable license plate that says Sexy Lump, which I think is hilarious.
It's spelled SXY.
And meanwhile, Jake is switching between Lumpy Jake and then like normal Jake. And in the back of the car, they're talking about what's going to happen next.
Jake starts saying like, if I become lumpy like them, I want you to. And Finn's like, he cuts him off and he's like, it's not going to come to that. But if it does, I'll bury you beneath the nicest, most shadiest tree. And Jake's like, what? No, I was going to say, I want you to get used to Lumpy Jake.
What did you think I was saying?
Being lumpy is like a fate worse than death to Finn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so while they're driving, I had to point out the music that it plays.
Yeah.
It's super upbeat, but there's something creepy about it. I'll play the clip if I can find it. I couldn't find the clip. I'll throw that in there in case I can't find the clip.
I can't even with you.
Sounds like Alec Baldwin.
Okay, so they have to find the smooth posers who have this antidote on Makeout Point.
But they stop to pick up Brad.
But that's when they stop to pick up Brad first because Melissa's like, yeah, no, I'm not making out with you, Finn. Even though she was like flirty with him. Anyway, so they go pick up Brad and Spacey Lump says the funniest thing. Matt?
Finn's freaking out because Jake's getting lumpier by the minute. And LSP's like, this is stressful for me too. I used to eat chili cheese fries with Brad, so there's going to be lots of romantic tension on this ride.
Yeah, it was, I just can't even. Let's talk about Brad, Matthew. So Brad is, okay, listen. You know there's that whole societal, like, women should be shorter than the man that they're dating. Matt and I are nearly the same height. I think he's like...
A quarter of an inch taller, maybe.
Yeah, like an inch, maybe. An inch taller. Not much taller than me. Like, so much so that when I was picking out my shoes for our wedding, I made sure that I wore flats because I didn't want to have that height imbalance. But
not saying she's a tall lady. I'm just a short guy.
We're equal in height. Anyway, Brad is a tiny little dude. I think if this was live action, he would be played by a small person. Is that the politically correct term?
Yes.
Little person? Or is it small person? Little person? What do you call it?
Dwarf.
A dwarf?
I don't know.
Oh, no. That's not what you would call Peter Dinklage.
A little person. Yeah.
A little person. So anyway, so he's hiding, and he's like got this, he doesn't look lumpy.
Yeah, when I took notes, I wrote LSP and Melissa talk Brad up the whole episode, and he ends up being this derpy little noodle of a guy.
He does, and it's so fascinating also because, like, he doesn't float. Do you notice that?
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Inconsistencies.
Oh, Brad.
It's like Finn's supposed to be the last human, but every couple of episodes in the first couple of seasons, you see this one shirtless, bald human hanging out in the background every now and then. I'll point him out if we see him in one of the upcoming episodes.
I look forward to that with all my heart.
Apparently he was designed after one of the animators in the show.
That's funny.
Poor guy.
So, okay, so pick up Brad, head out to Makeout Point, and they have to confront the smooth posers who have this antidote, which is like a pearl that they sit on.
The smooth posers are lumpy people. They're lumpy guys who want to be smooth.
Yeah, and it's really funny because they're teenagers and they have like acne and stuff when they turn into lumpy.
Yeah, one of them is clearly Jake's voice actor just talking with a geekier voice.
Yeah, it's really funny. So as they're trying to talk them into giving over this pearl to save Jake, Lumpy Space Princess comes up and she starts talking trash to the smooth posers. And then they're like, yeah, no, we're not giving you this. Good luck. Bye.
Jake goes full lumpy. And like right before he does, he says, no matter how messed up I get, this guy never turns his back on me. He goes full lumpy and instantly he's like, hold on, I'm coming. I just have to turn my back on this guy.
Yeah, so funny. It's like, oh, sad fan. So at that point,
Finn freaks out.
Like he does like this anger face and he's like, I'll kill you, Lumpy Space.
So the smooth posers hear his plight and they come back and dig his directionless fury.
Yeah.
So they agree to help him out. So Finn asks how he gets over to the little space island that is the prom coming dance.
Yeah, because they were ditched there because they can't drive. But as you recall, he's on these cloud islands, so he can't just walk over to the prom coming dance.
This orb is the antidote, brah.
So he comes up with this plan to have them bite him. One of the smooth posers is like, you have a 50-50 chance to make it over. And so he's like, all right. And he has them bite him all over. So he turns into a lump and is able to float.
Yep. And he just goes for it because it's Finn.
Yep. So he makes it to the dance.
So he crashes through the prom coming window carrying the antidote. And when he gets there, he's mostly lumpy already. And Jake refuses to sit on the orb, calling him a smoothie wannabe lumpy poser. Which is one of my favorite lines in the show. So Finn goes full lumpy and he completely forgets the mission. And Lumpy Finn is hilarious. He's like baby blue and he's way lumpier than everybody else. I assume it's because he had so many bites.
Yeah, probably. That was my thought.
So you pointed out that Jake turns purple when he goes lumpy, which is probably because LSP is purple and she bit him. So I wonder, like, what color the majority of the lumpy guys were that bit Finn to make him baby blue.
Well, I noticed that they were, like, shades of blue, except for the one... Oh, what color was he? I can't remember. But I know that the other... Like, two of them, one was a dark blue and one was, like, a light blue. And then the other one was, like, yellow or something. I could be wrong, though.
So then after they're both lumpy...
They fight over the orb.
Yeah, because...
Like, back and forth.
Because Lumpy Jake gets jealous that Finn won't give him the orb.
Yeah.
So he takes it from him. He turns back to normal Jake, and Finn runs away from him because he's trying to turn him normal again, and he gets knocked unconscious by running into a jacked guy's back.
And then he wakes up, and he's regular Finn.
Yep. And he apologizes to LSP for getting mad at her about messing things up earlier. And the three of them dance to the last prom coming song.
Let me have a moment about LSP. She's like the worst.
I love LSP.
She is the worst. She's one of those manipulative people that like turns everything into your fault, even though she fully contributed to the problem.
Well, that's why it's so funny. Is because
it's not.
That character is exactly like some real people.
She's like one of those bad friends that you can't get rid of. Like you feel sorry for them, and you're just like, okay, well maybe this time they'll change, and they don't, and they're horrible.
I think you're just jealous of her lumps.
Yeah, no.
That's the last LSP voice I'm doing.
I don't know. It's not, and that's fine. And no, she's awful.
So, all in all, what did you think of the episode?
This is not my favorite episode. I know it's the second episode in the series. I don't know. I don't like mean girls, and she's a mean girl. So, okay, but what I really like about the episode, this is the thing I do like about it, is there's like true friendship, and this really lays the foundation of the friendship that Finn and Jake have.
Yeah, Finn is always willing to lay anything down for Jake.
Yeah, and vice versa, I think. And it's just so, it was really cool. It was like, I'm willing to do whatever it is. You know, we're best friends. I mean, we know that they're also brothers. And
he takes the 50-50 plunge.
That's right. He did take the 50-50 plunge. And I think it's like a beautiful tale of how friendship endures, you know, through trial. And we're going to see this again and again. And
oh, yeah.
I love
it's
that about
the heart
show.
of the show.
Yeah. Is their relationship and their bond.
I think that's one of the things I love about the earlier seasons is it's all about Finn and Jake's relationship. In later seasons, there are a lot of episodes that stray off from them and that it's trying to develop other characters. And we'll get to that when we get to those episodes. But with this show, I really felt like it was missing something big when they took Finn and Jake out of a lot of episodes. Mm-hmm. And I think it was season 6.
You know, and I think that we see this now. I mean, it's like they're working so hard to develop these two characters into having such a really close relationship that it's really the heart of the show. And when they take that out of the show, it's not as good.
It's just missing something. It's missing its magic.
Yeah, and I really think, I think that's what it is. I agree.
So
what did you like about it, Matt?
Well, I love almost every episode for at least the first 2 seasons. This was before it was episodic. I like the episodic stuff. The show matures with the voice actor that plays Finn, Jeremy Shada. The earlier episodes are very kid-friendly, but it's, you know, they're also wacky as hell. But I love them. Like, my favorite episodes are the non-episodic ones, like the standalones like this, or Up in a Tree, which is our mutual favorite episode.
Favorite episode ever.
It was just all about hilarious gags and really weird one-liners that stuck with me over the years. So, just like the first episode, I don't think I have any real problems with this episode. Except for there's a cheesy moment at the end where Jake fakes for a second that he's still Lumpy, and everybody in the audience goes, oh, when clearly nobody except Finn, Jake, and LSP knew about the whole situation of the episode.
Yeah. Well, Melissa and Brad.
Oh, Melissa and Brad.
Brad. What was your favorite line, Matt?
Ooh, my favorite line had to have been, I can't help you because my parents are horrible idiots.
I did think that it was really funny when she's like, "Lump off, Mom!" The whole exchange was just so random.
Yep. What's your favorite line?
So my favorite line was, so I'm a huge fan of the exclamations that Finn makes. And so my favorite one was, "Hammer cow, thanks, fellas."
It's so funny because that went right over my head. You had to point it out to me. And usually I'm all over the Finn exclamations.
They're so funny. And that's when the smooth posers give him the orb at the first time before Lumpy Space Princess comes in and they change their mind. Algebraic.
Do your best impression of a character from this episode.
Well, I'm going to just do Lumpy because it's easier. Ow, 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 ow.
See, now you sound like the guy from Office Space. Gave her my O face.
Oh. You know what I mean? Oh.
I stole your joke.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. It's your impression.
See, I want to not do LSP because that's the one I go to.
She sounds just like your boss Mace, your former boss Mace.
Ooh, yep. I was thinking the same thing. Even some of the things she says sounds like my old boss. Thanks a lot. You're welcome a lot. But I think, okay. Ooh, impression of a character. One of the smooth posers. Nah, we get ditched here just like you. I love the way he says you. Yeah. It's like Y-U-H.
He's like Scottish all of a sudden.
That just about does it for this episode.
So next week, we're going to be doing Season 1, Episode 3. And this is actually really cool because it's going to focus on the Ice King, another character that we're going to be introduced to. The synopsis is, having discovered that the Ice King has captured a number of princesses he sees as potential brides, Finn and Jake team up with the prisoners to set everybody free.
Oh yeah, so excited.
That should be pretty cool.
That sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't. I'm actually excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so excited.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love Ice King.
Oh, good.
You have any plugs? Where can people find you?
You can check me out on Twitter at Moxie Speaks. MOXIESPEAKS. I don't use Twitter hardly at all. Also, I'm a roller derby player and I play for Jet City Roller Derby, so definitely check us out. We'd love for you to come and watch us, and we're a pretty bunch of badass women on roller skates.
Hell yeah.
How about you, Matt?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, Modern Horror Show, where I review and recommend newer horror movies.
That's awesome. And I've seen your stuff and I love it so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
You can email us at ohmyglobpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or comments. We'll respond back to you in a timely manner.
Yeah, and if we're on iTunes by this point, we would love it if you guys would rate and review us.
Give us feedback. We'd love to hear it so we can improve the show and make it as awesome as we think it is. So one thing that I think we should end with, LSP gives this like, see you later, or like, hey guys, I'll catch you later. They say bumps before they go over to see the smooth posers. So I think it'd be cool if we ended this podcast by saying bumps.
Bumps.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Bumps.
Bye.
Bye.